particular lobby. Can EXO hold on? They have a 10-point gap over Dreamfire at the moment. If Dreamfire have any chance of ending in front of EXO Clan, they need this top spot.
Now, I'm just having a quick look here at Buriram, trying to make sure we don't get any of these shenanigans that we saw last time, Xenox. Jack has landed underneath in the bins that are sort of like underneath the gravity cannon in that edge of the wall. So he's managed to get away. No conflict there with Big Z. And I think Buriram are safe here to start with, at least, in our final lobby. So that's nice for them. Looking at Golden Sage, of course, who have managed to push Buriram away, of course, from the ski lift position. They also get the beacon, and it looks like, I guess I should call it now, just to see if we can get there. And I reckon we're going to get a budget mill sort of IMC sort of situation here. At the very least, it's going to land somewhere between the sort of the mill itself and the and budget mill. So it's going to be definitely on the sort of the west side of this circle. Xenox, I don't think that one's going to be too contentious, hopefully. But let's see if GQ decide to pull up there. Dreamfire once again are being given a circle, and it's been fascinating to see whether they decide to play these circles from early on, or if they grab their trident and pull further out and just try and sort of do it all in reverse and grab some kills first.
I wonder, is there a world in which Dreamfire just sort of hold the mill?
They've done it before.
Yeah, and just sort of wait in this position.
When we saw a big finish where it was that one where who was it? I think it was the T4 player who came in as a solo and won it in the end. And Dreamfire, that one was more centered on the mill, like obviously not as far across as this one. But yeah, they just played the mill pretty much the entire time until they went down in the end. So,
well, my speculation is unfortunately going to be incorrect here, as they've actually just pushed out a little bit from the mill. They could still fall back there if they so choose to, but instead they're actually just going to play on the rocks here off the back of Trident. GQ making their push in fact, just in front of Dreamfire, so they'll actually occupy a space pretty much right in the sightlines of Dreamfire. They do have to be a little bit careful of that, and yeah, so much so that they do move away from it. And T4 also in the same vicinity. Golden Sage have already lost Mobius, a bit of an early fight for them, but it's not going the way they would like.
Absolutely not. Boogie Board is certainly getting the best of them now. Fussy, even with the white armor, able to get the better of Golden Sage. And it looks like, popping the bat, Azu's going to take the gravity cannon. Can they get the last couple of shots in him in the air? Shady is too good. Doesn't get the bat off. They will grab all 3 kills and confirm that for themselves. So very nice start here for Boogie Boarders, who of course have been a bit middling in this first series for today. I mean, now, one thing that was running through my mind in that last minute, Xenox, was I wonder if that's one of the reasons why we're seeing Gibraltar here picked on Storm Point and not World's Edge, because they like to rotate with that Trident, and Gibraltar makes that a much safer prospect. So is that why GQ have gone for that pick when barely anyone is picking the Gibraltar these days?
That's a big investment for essentially just one, portion of the gameplay, and if you're basically just picking Gibraltar just for that, I mean, obviously there's benefits outside of it as well with the dome shield, but yeah, it's an intriguing thought, and I would actually like some clarity on that. I think eventually if we could ever get and ask them if that is essentially why they've gone for it, because yeah, we just do not see the Gibraltar at all, coupled with the Bangalore and then the Crypto. Talk about just not really looking to play the meta at all, right? When you take into account there's no Watson, there's no Valkyrie, and there's no Seer on the side of GQ. We'll see how it plays out for them in this particular game with that lineup. Obviously, what is becoming really, as the split has gone on, a bit more variety has entered Apac South, that is for sure.
How's your Mandarin, Xenox?
It's not good, but I do have an ability to translate well with Google.
Really? Okay, well there you go. Who knows? Maybe we can get that answer out of GQ then.
I know it's ancient technology, but we can make it work. We can make it work.
Well, I just found out the other day there was Sven, who you guys might know as the person who breaks Apex on a regular basis every day and finds out all the funny, weird out of bounds spots and bugs and everything else. You should follow him for some really funny content on Twitter. Hopefully, someone will chuck it in chat. Currently running for Meteor Esports. He's I think for them, and yeah, he was using Deeper L, which apparently is even better than Google Translate. So I don't know if that's how you want to do it. Yeah, and he communicates with the whole scene throughout. It's quite interesting. So yeah, look, translation software on the up. We're a big region. Yeah, there's a lot of different languages going on, frankly, and there's a lot else going on Storm Point here as 20th guaranteed. Coming up against EXO, have pushed all the way into Cenote Caves to try and take this fight. Double Seer ultimates coming out.
Yeah, if EXO's pushing on to you, you probably are about to be 20th guaranteed, but fortunately for them at least, already one more team has been eliminated before them, of course, and might be 19th guaranteed very shortly here for Rigerson, Leaf, and Trent. Although EXO are probably just disciplining themselves here by not getting too overly aggressive. They're making sure they've got everything covered. They've got the higher ground. Dexter does well. Blazer. Zik actually forced back to pop the bat here, so that might just mean EXO hold up for the time being.
Okay. Fences just keeping them at bay. 20th guaranteed. 2 whites and a blue. They're not feeling amazing up against the 2 blues and a purple over EXO, but now that they've sort of that initial
they've given up on it.
Fight has been rebuffed. Yeah, they're getting out. They're, the Seer ultimate's down. They no longer have that info. There was also RTL looking across at this from the passageway through the mountain, the one that goes through to Barometer. So I don't know, perhaps there were some shots ringing out there that said to EXO, we don't want to get third-partied here. Because remember, they're not that far ahead. Like, they're ahead, but they're not that far ahead of the other teams in this lobby, so they want to secure this first place. The points between 25 and 20, first and second here, there's 4 split points difference that you can get. That could be enough to see them not go to land. They have to be worried about, everything they can be here. And there we go. The circle continues to pull westward. Pulling up a little bit, that's interesting, actually. I wonder if that will go down towards, obviously, a lot of the other teams happy to play those very defensible positions in and around the sort of the mill IMC there, but I don't know. There's definitely an option that it goes a bit more north.
Yeah, I think if you're Dreamfire, you've got to start asking the question: do you go back to the mill, play that here for second round, and then play the north side from the third round onwards if it does pull up that way? The south side of this green circle at the moment is where the majority of the teams are located. I actually look at Free Agents and Ant Esports making their way in from that checkpoint area, and they're about to actually just walk into a free vacant north side that might even pull into that direction. So they don't know it yet, but they're about to be very happy, although Free Agents do have intel on that green circle and do not.
Yeah, you're very right. The difference in information could change how those 2 teams play this out quite a lot. Of course, the crypto is available for both teams, and there is a survey beacon, just above the mill, so they both can have that information if they want to. MDY White got their own crypto in drone form right now, trying to close in on DNZ. Fallen SA Joker.
Just saying Dreamfire, actually, they've just picked up the Grand Circle themselves as well and spotted Free Agents coming from the bridge. So they actually know that Free Agents have forced their way into the mill. They know that they cannot fall back to that position now, so they have to hold their more southern position.
Okay, ADL Wolves, they're also looking on. This is north of the position that DNZ were at. MDY White, not the best day for them, and I don't know, they certainly haven't been pulling the trigger as much as they have in the past. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing. Either way, they take the safe route out of this and move back through Jurassic Park to try and find some safe haven.
Still 18 squads remaining, so Storm Point, in contrast to probably World's Edge, a little bit slower at the start, but even despite that, not really having the bloodbath moments of World's Edge either. It has played out extraordinarily different today as EXO are pushing into the mill, in and behind Free Agents. I think they might have been spotted low on health as well, coming out of the zone and straight into the sightlines of free agents. This happening over towards the mill. They are in some trouble here, Exo Clan, and remember, they're in that top spot at the moment. Free agents are watching. That would be a big kill for free agents if they wipe them out.
Oh.
Dexter is down. They have a whole lot of intel now. It's Exo, and Exo are wounded.
Okay, free agents, they're going to full send this. It looks like they've got the EMP going. Lahim is going to block their ability to get out of the zone with the Rolling Thunder, and they're chasing them all the way in here. You can see Dexter has been left for dead. Killer Pose and Ziki are on their last legs here. Ziki needs to pull a med out soon, or he's going to go down to the zone.
Gets the syringe off, now goes for the med kit. We saw a little bit of a wave from Ziki. I think he would say waving goodbye to maybe that top spot. Killer Pose sends it into the ocean, in towards really the open arms of the sea to take Exo Clan away from this game and potentially away from top spot of this lobby. Their spot is vulnerable now to Dreamfire and potentially Buriram as well as they go out at the hands of free agents. They'll take the 3 kills, all 3 of them going to Lahim. Over towards DNZ being wiped out by MDY White. Ming Yu's been knocked down after getting that team wipe. But I think they'll be fine. MDY will be pretty happy with this.
10 points separating them from Dreamfire, 11 from Buriram starting off this game. They take a risky rotation and it doesn't work out for them. Now, the vacuum left by free agents is going to be occupied by Ant Esports, who will be trying to keep them at the mill. But if we go over to Boogie Borders here, we can see they are battling both the Prowlers and MDYY.
Next circle, green circle has shifted south. It's not going north. It's going onto north side esports. They get a hard shift. They got a big pull onto their location. T4 as well will be pretty happy. They don't even know it yet. And same can be said for Popcorn, who also don't even know it yet. So massive pull to the south. That means for free agents and esports over towards the mill, they're probably going to have to rotate in and towards Dreamfire's position. Here from this mill position as they're pushing in. Triple purple, knock onto Valken. Well, I don't think free agents are going to be rotating anywhere. They're kind of in the same predicament that EXO were in. They're just running back over towards north location and in and away from the mill.
It's
Ant
deja
will not chase
vu.
him too far though.
We've
Sure.
seen this all before, and yeah, look, Ant, they'll be taking extra damage, of course. We're one zone further now, so it's even harder for them to make this chase, but it's also harder for free agents to get away. Lahim, once again, is the lone survivor for free agents, as that Bangalore passive continually allows him to get away further. Ant, though, it's just like a recursive algorithm happening right now. Xenox here, and as Ant go into the circle, guess who pulls up? We've got Dreamfire into the vacuum. Let's see if they're smart enough to at least try and hold them from the mill and not pull all the way into the zone, because ADL look like they might just do the same thing if Dreamfire wanted to go any further.
And while all this happening, of course, that zone is pulling down towards the south, not pulling towards this location. These teams are aware of it, though. Dreamfire and all having intel. ADL do not have intel as to where this is going. And I don't actually know how much information they have of this position over towards the mill. But yeah, it's quite hilarious that Ant Esports, as they push back in, are about to be the third team that this has happened to. They push back in, they're being gate kept. Do they run back into the zone though for cover? I think they've got to realize, hey, we need to fight this. We know what happens if we run back into the zone. We don't come back.
Dreamfire with the info down right now. Roy using his ultimate as well, and because these circles are so close together, it's kind of good for Dreamfire. You can see them worrying though, because they know ADL is on the other side. ADL see all of these smokes, the ultimates being used, and they think, hey, maybe this is a good time for us to come in. They will try and grab the roof here. Draug using the VTOL jets to get some height, and he's got that on top of Ant. I think Dreamfire will be fine. They've stayed inside. They've actually played this pretty smart. Maybe they can come out and take this back onto ADL. Ant certainly aren't walking away from this one.
No, certainly not. 2 of the 3 kills going the way of ADL Wolves, getting rid of Ant Esports, so they fall. Not in the end going to be a mirror image of those earlier fights from out of the mill. It will be a little bit different this time. One of the kills they go in the way of Dreamfire, triple purple, full health, they're okay. I'll send a drone out as well. ADL close by. Both these two teams, though, now need to go to the south side of this previous circle. We shift on towards North Esport. We shift on to RTL. MDY White gone, eliminated. Jub getting those kills. Buram quite this game. Just the one kill. They're over towards the northeastern side. They too need to push south, get involved and fight. Remember, of course, that top spot with ExoClan gone is available for both Dreamfire and Buram.
Yeah, 10 points and 11 points between them, remember. Can they overcome that? I'm not sure if EXO got many, if any, points to go with. There we go. It is going to end up at that budget mill location there. Northside Esports, you got to remember that's not, like, it's a good place to hole up, but, like, once everyone gets packed into that market building that Northside Esports are in, it can be quite tough. People can shoot you through the cracks in the walls, the cracks in the roof. It's honestly, yeah, it's a little bit tough to hold. It's not as sturdy as you might hope.
Time to push in about 40 seconds time for Dreamfire and ADL. They have to make their way super far down to the south. Heat trying to get as much intel as he possibly can with that crypto. And I think they're trying to scan out actually that middle cliff and see if they can play in and around that. It is inside of the next round.
RTL go down.
Eliminated. Yeah,
so, you know, they're not going to make it their way any further up the leaderboards there. And it feels like we're almost sort of watching this. It could be like a kill race here, effectively, between Dreamfire and Buriram to work out who can try and grab that 10 plus extra points. EXO watching on from the sidelines, hoping that it's neither of them.
Would confirm EXO's position inside of the top 4 going into the regional finals if that does not eventuate. Now, Jack Q has been knocked back down by Fussy and got gaps as well. This will be the end of Buram. Yeah, quickly wiped out. They were just never really in a position where they could push out and fight. As soon as they had to move forward, they had PK and they had Boogie Borders watching them like hawks. They pounce as well. That leaves a big door available for Dreamfire to walk through to that top spot. It is all on them to do so.
Boogie Borders are watching over PK right now. Dreamfire have just walked into the circle, by the way. They've got a little bit of a rock to hide behind. It's just over the other side of the Boogie Borders here, so they're actually in quite close proximity. And, a lot of ultimates being used all towards Dreamfire. You can see they're taking a lot of fire. Maybe no one will get over the top of EXO.
God.
Dreamfire have gone out in 9th.
Yeah, they've gone out up in flames, and it is ExoClan will take top spot here in A versus C for day 5. They'll confirm themselves a place in the top 4 going into the regional finals. But still for Dreamfire and Buram, big points to be collected, you would imagine, second or third. I should believe it are still theirs. Then playing, of course, in the next lobby after this in B versus C, they will still back themselves in to be in and around that top 4 position come regional finals next week. But Boogie Borders, Gino, they've been quiet. They've been a little bit poor today. This is their time to shine in the final match. They've picked up 9 kills into the top 8. Double red. Not really God's spot position either. So still a bit more fighting that will have to come from them.
Yeah, I think they'll be okay as long as they can deal with Primus Commander. But a lot of other teams have still got their routes to work into the final circle here. GQ, you can see they're struggling. They're going up against ADL here. Actually, well, it's T4 in the same building. And then ADL just sniping, stealing away some of these kills from range.
Should mention a big win here. A big win for Boogie Borders. Maybe not top spot, you know, second would actually be theirs. So there's a huge chance they can actually kind of spoil the party a little bit of ExoClan and Buram United because they went out without really gaining a whole lot this game. Triple red, as you said, really only having to potentially deal with PK. Buki has been knocked down as well by Raki, so they can push on this. They know that they're vulnerable now, and then while they're going for the revive, Hay on the other side has been knocked by Don. Oh, it's all too easy in the end for Boogie Borders. They slide on down, they pick up the kills, they've got good position. North side, no one is near them. This might just be their game to close on.
This is exactly what I wanted to see. Clearing out PK gives them so much dominion over the rest of this circle. And Shady getting even more downs, even more kills going the way of Boogie Borders. They've got great angles here onto GQ, onto ADL. Those two teams just kind of fighting amongst themselves right now because they know there's not really anything that they can do against this team on the hill. And we've got 3 teams left alive in the market. Northside Esports, they've been holding the inside of that for quite some time. Popcorn, they eventually had to relocate, and you can see that they've chucked up the amp covers and the shielders on top of the market here. So potentially if Boogie Borders get pushed out at just the wrong moment, that's where Sheila could actually come into her own here. And then you've got Good Riddance trying to make a last-ditch effort here for a good position in this lobby on the bottom floor.
5 squads remaining, 15 alive, so it's a healthy lobby. ADL Bulls.
They reset.
Yeah, looking for back-to-back big games here. Double purple, red on Legacy. Make that a legendary onto Hex. So not in a bad position. When you take into account these teams building Dynamo honestly have to push out into the scopes of both ADL and Boogie Borders. There's a chance ADL, at minimum here, might be able to achieve a second-place finish.
Be something they're definitely going to be hoping for. I'm just going to be really interested to see if Boogie Borders can get out of this one alive. This rock really is, you know, the cover that they need to be using, and once it disappears, I'd say it's going to be tough. Because ADL have certainly got their eyes trained on, okay, there's another rock they can play at. So maybe they're just going to be playing a leapfrog.
ADL, winners of match 5. Is there a world in which that they might be able to get back-to-back wins that could still be on the cards? Boogie Borders, though, you would think from here, probably the best position to do so. Shots from Shady landing here onto Good Riddance as they're making their way out of the building. He's on the way. He's now cracked. Full flash here. Don as well. Oh, ADL have met them on the other side. Good Riddance are gone. Really well executed from ADL and the Boogie Borders. And it does come down to this 3 versus 3. Boogie Borders full triple red, pushing straight onto ADL, not even giving them a chance to breathe. Drauga's already cracked. Tried to swap the armor. He did actually do so successfully. He was really quick, and it did get flushed immediately after that, though. Racky's down. Fussy will be able to survive. Boogie Borders will get the win, and it's a huge win in match 6 as well, Gino. They've been able to do it at the last minute to get themselves a chance, I think, for 2nd or 3rd.
Oh,
in the final match.
My God, Xenox.